Matt McAdam here, your truck editor at Driving Line, with another episode of Chasing Dust, and I'm here in Las Vegas, Nevada for none other than the SEMA show. The show closes at 5 o'clock, which means that you cannot enter the halls after 5 p.m. But I'm gonna test that theory. We are sneaking in to SEMA tonight. Looks like the front doors are shut, so we gotta go around the building. Step one, made it inside. This is insane. I snuck into the upper South Hall and there is not a soul in sight. It is 8 p.m. here, 3 hours after this show closed. And I'm in the show. Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? Matt McAdam here, your truck editor at Driving Line, with another episode of Chasing Dust, and I'm here in Las Vegas, Nevada for none other than the SEMA show. Totally stoked to be here in Vegas for SEMA. It's an event that I look forward to every year. A lot of really cool talent, a lot of really cool stuff here at the show this year. I got a chance to kind of walk around a little bit earlier today, but you know, I thought about doing a vlog episode here at the show while I was down there. And it was just way too busy and way too crowded, and it was just so loud in there that there was no way I could even get a clear shot of any of the trucks or the vehicles that I was looking at. So I just came back to the hotel room. While I was on my way back here, I was kind of thinking maybe there's another way that I could still film an episode here while I'm at SEMA, show you guys the coolest builds here that I've found so far, but do it in a way where it probably hasn't been done before. And what I mean is without people around. The show closes at 5 o'clock, which means that you cannot enter the halls after 5 p.m. But I'm gonna test that theory. I've never done this before, so I have no idea what I'm doing, but I am gonna be heading out of my hotel here at the West Gate, which is just next door to the show. And I'm gonna hop on the monorail, and I'm just gonna start walking into the halls and see how far I can go. Worst comes to worst, I think they'd just tell me I have to step out of the halls. Really gonna push the boundaries here to see what I can get away with. We are sneaking in to SEMA tonight. All right, we made it to the front entrance to the halls here. Gonna see if I can get in the front door. Looks like the front doors are shut, so we gotta go around the building. Gonna see if we can do this. All right, step one, made it inside. Where I wanna go is the South Hall, South Upper Hall. That's where all the off-road stuff happens. Right here is the South Hall. We want to go up this escalator. Once I make it upstairs, there should be another door to the upper South Hall. And that's where all the off-road stuff is. You're gonna find all the trucks, the UTVs, the Jeeps, all those companies have their booths, their exhibits in the upper South Hall. So all the doors are, the main doors are shut. is a small door over there. Just gonna kind of casually just walk through it. Dude, we're in. Oh my God, I'm in. This is incredible. There's no one here. Gotta keep my voice down in case there. Oh, okay. There's a bunch of cleanup crew people down there. What? I mean, if you've ever been to SEMA, you know that this place is packed with people all the time during the show. And there isn't a single person in sight. It's just trucks. Whew. All right. When I mean it's empty, I mean it is freaking empty, y'all. Oh my God. All right. So I'm gonna show you guys some of the coolest builds that I saw here earlier today. So we're gonna head to a booth here that I was at earlier. I want to show you right off the bat. They got two really cool trucks. All right, so I wanted to show you guys the Synergy booth. They got a couple of really cool vehicles in here. You guys may have seen this Jeep JL 2-door on Driving Line. And Dave, who is the owner of Synergy, actually launched this thing earlier this year at EJS. And we got a ridiculously cool slow motion video of it just getting launched, sent through the air. And here it is at SEMA. So obviously it lived and looks pretty good. So Synergy Manufacturing, if you guys haven't heard of them, makes some really, really cool components for everything from your truck to your Jeep. Most 4x4s, they have a lot of really cool parts for them. Steering, suspension, all kinds of stuff that you would need. Some of their tie rods are the best out there. You know, their chromoly tie rods. Great upgrade for your Jeep if you ever go wheeling, because that's the first thing that takes the hit. So Synergy tie rods, great. Always use those on those rigs. Their build sheet here looks like they got, obviously they have some Nitto 37-inch ridge grapplers with a set of trail ready bead locks on here, 17s. Looks really nice. They got a Warren winch. They got a JCR off-road fenders and half doors. These are cool for trail rides. Have that half door set up here. I've ridden on these Fox shocks with the Jeep JL. It was a 4-door, but that Jeep was the one that I took from Alaska back to SoCal. And I can tell you with confidence, these shocks are badass. I mean, everything you can throw at them, they're just smooth as can be. It felt like a stock ride on 35s. So this one's on 37s. Looks pretty cool. I really dig this Jeep. We're gonna move on to the truck next to it here. So what we got here is a late model Ram 3500. And again, this one's on some 40-inch trail grapplers, 40-inch by a 17-inch wheel. This truck just looks really nice, and you know what? It's one of those builds that doesn't just sit there in a show. It actually gets used. So he's got factor 55 winch hook with a Warren winch, some nice power stop brakes on this thing. It's got Mag High-Tech differential covers, PSC steering on there, makes it really nice for a big heavy tire. You know, you can turn a 40-inch tire like on a dime. Again, with the Fox shocks on here. Super nice build. Hats off Synergy, you do a great job. If you guys are looking for components for your truck or your Jeep, hit these guys up, they probably got it. And I gotta tell you, it holds up to a lot of abuse. As you can see, you know, they're not afraid to really put their vehicles out there and use them, as evidenced by the video of the JL here launching in the air. Super cool. Let's move on. I will say, no shortage of Gladiators with bed racks and rooftop tents or any kind of overlanding tent setup at this show. Upper South Hall is filled with them. I mean, just check it out right here. This is a Gladiator. It's got a Batwing awning. It's got that roof, the Rhino-Rack bed rack system on there. A couple of Rotopacks, pretty cool. Again, another set of Gladiators here. So certainly one of the more visually striking Jeep Wranglers that is at this show. Colin, what an awesome job you did with this Jeep. I love the gold and blue with the black and gray accents, the white decals. I mean, it's not a color combination that I've seen, like a scheme that I've seen before, but it's super, super nice. I just love what you've done with this thing. He's got some 40-inch trail grapplers here with some 17-inch Cameo bead locks, Rebel Off-Road Recon DSS system, dual shocks, bypass coilovers, all nice and black powder coated. He's got the gray bumpers here, also from Rebel. A worn Xeon winch, Factor 55 winch hook. Some big old rock jock axle up front. I mean, just really, really nicely built Jeep. This thing is not only looking really good, but I know that Colin uses it, and it's going to be out there on the trails at EJS this year. I can't wait to see it. Right now, it's in the Rhino-Rack booth. He's got their Rhino-Rack system for the Wrangler JL. It's got a ladder on there, some jerry cans, a storage box. No rooftop tent on this one, but really, really nicely done. This Jeep nickname is Triton. As you can see here, he's from Colorado. Colin, what an awesome job, man. I can't say enough about this build. It's truly amazing to see in person. Great job. When you hit me up like, I don't know, 6-8 months ago to do a rendering for this Jeep before you even built it, like you had just gotten this thing that was bone stock, I was super excited to see the turnout, and I gotta say, I'm blown away by this thing. You did a great job with it. I can't wait to see it at EJS next year. Isn't this amazing, you guys? I'm the only one in here. I mean, I was in here earlier and I could barely stand. It was like sardines, and now it's totally wide open. Okay, so right here, I've got a build that you guys have probably seen, and it's pretty wild. This is the Jesse James Line X Chevrolet Cameo, I believe they're calling it. There's some information on it here. 1957 Chevrolet Cameo. It's got a Texas Speed LS7 engine package. A lot of really, really amazing fabrication done on this truck that you can expect from none other than the Pope of Welding himself, Jesse James. It's got an IFS center mount front end, big king shocks on there. LS7's tucked back, super nice. 3.0 2.5 coilover bypass system out back, all TIG welded. I mean, it's everything you'd expect from Jesse James. The rear fender seems to be a topic of discussion for a lot of people. I feel like I'm gonna sit down because why the hell not? There's nobody here. To really appreciate the work and fabrication done in this truck, especially that rear fender with the overlay, you have to see it in person. I wasn't a huge fan of some of the photos that I saw when it was first leaked out last week, but here in front of me, it's not as bad as it looks. The angle is totally tweaked. It's like something you've never seen before, but it's not that bad when you see it up close. And I mean, there's no denying the fabrication skill that's been put into this truck. Jesse's an amazing fabricator. They don't call him the Pope of Welding for no reason. So, great job, Jesse. I've seen your work with Desert Trucks in the past. I saw you out at the King of the Hammers last year racing your trophy truck. And I am excited to see what you're gonna do with this thing, because I'm a big proponent of using the vehicles you build for the purpose of what you built them for. And this thing looks like it can do some damage. All right, can't be lazy, people are gonna find me. So Upper South Hall, you're gonna see a lot of different kinds of off-road and truck companies. This is the Truck Hero booth, I believe. They are a group of companies like Truxedo, Undercover, Retrax, Back Industries, that basically sell accessories for your truck or your Jeep. And I gotta tell you, there's no shortage of Gladiator products out here. I've seen probably 24 variants of Gladiator bed racks. Pretty amazing stuff. Rugged Ridge Gladiator here. Another bed rack and roof rack system. Guys, there's a ton of people walking around here and riding these like golf cart things, but they're not telling me to leave. They're just kind of driving by like, not my job. Not my job. Right in front of me here is a booth everyone recognizes. Icon Vehicle Dynamics. They have their Ford Ranger here. The Ranger seems to be a really hot platform for this year's SEMA show. I thought the Gladiator would be the winner, but I think there's a pretty good amount of Rangers here to definitely be a contender. If you guys watched the Chasing Dust episode I did a few months ago, where I was at Icon with Dylan, walking around, showing me all the stuff that they do there, he was telling me about how the Ranger requires a very high offset wheel to fit inside the fender well. So instead of going out there and trying to find an aftermarket wheel that already exists that meets the specifications they need to do like a 33 or a 34-inch tire on this truck, they decided to develop their own wheel for it. So super awesome. Hats off to you guys for taking that extra step and developing a product that works for this vehicle because it was engineered to work with the suspension that they made for it. So super cool. This truck is running a set of looks like 35 11 50 17. So very narrow tire. It's a trail grappler from Nitto, mud terrain, super cool. Icon pumps out some amazing stuff. This is their delta joint, upper control arm, coilover system with their CDC valves, and they also have a secondary shock on there, which has its own reservoir down there, and also a compression damping valve there. And looks like they got some lower control arm skids, super cool. Great job, Icon. It ain't SEMA until you have one of these things. Jesus Christ. I could fit in this wheel. All chrome suspension. Humongous drop bracket system. Still retaining the IFS that a Chevy has stock. I don't understand this. I mean, the entire weight of this thing is held up by these little dinky control arms and one 2.5-inch shock. I mean, I suppose that'll get the job done, but why? Look at this. That's the brake rotor. Some ginormous wheel spacer. Oh my God. It's still on torsion bars up front. I just realized that. That's a huge drop bracket for the cross member. That's a chrome torsion bar. Some dinky little axles. I mean, sorry if you guys are hearing the frustration in my voice. It's because I don't understand building something like that. Being an old school off-roader, that just does not make any sense to me. But I digress. It's their money. They can build whatever they want, however they want. Look at this thing. Round Cat Auto Home. 4-wheel drive. It's a little Honda. Japanese overlander delivery truck. Now, I think that's cooler than that big black donk truck disco thing that I was looking at earlier, but hey, a lot of people are going to disagree with me. Like I was telling you guys, absolutely no shortage of rooftop tents and overland accessories. It's on a Mini Cooper. Do you even need a ladder for this thing? You just freaking hop right into it. It's so short. It's a James Baroud off-road tent. One of the best hard shell tents you can buy. And it's on a Mini Cooper. What I really came here to see is the off-road power products JKS Jeep Gladiator. Holy moly. Look at this thing. That's got to be like a 37-inch stand. And it's got a 40-inch trail grappler just stuffed into that fender. Obviously, it's got a lot of JKS components on here. Their flex arms. It's got their Fox shocks that go on their kit. Just doing a little bit of reading here. Their J-Spec 3.5-inch crawl system, J-crawl system. This is a 3.5-inch lift on 40-inch tires. Pretty incredible. I don't know of another mid-sized truck that you could put a 3.5-inch lift on and put a 40-inch tire under it. That's what makes the Gladiator so cool. Big shout out to my friends up at Off-Road Power Products. If you guys watched this vlog, you saw that I was up there doing a tour of their facility in Spokane, Washington, just about 2 months ago. Some really, really cool, knowledgeable guys up there. Anything you need for your Jeep or truck, they sell it. They know what parts to get you. Super nice guys. And they're all wheelers. That's the best part, is that they actually take their trucks and they go off-road with them on big trips like Ultimate Adventure. You know, a lot of those long wheeling trips that take a rig that can really hold its own. So thanks guys, you guys built a badass Gladiator. Right next door is the, it's the Dana booth. I'm wearing your t-shirt tonight. So in the Dana booth, they've got 2 JLs and a JK. Now, if I'm not mistaken, yep, this is the black JK that I rode with Randall at EJS this year. We ran Metal Masher in this thing. It's got an LS something or another in it. This has got their Ultimate Dana 60 front and rear, axles under it. One of the early, you know, big build JKs. Super nice. This Jeep wheels beautifully. I mean, I was in it for most of the day on one of the hardest trails in the Moab area, Metal Masher. Super long trail too. It took all day for us to get through it. And this thing just kind of walks all over it, like no problem. Oh, I was mistaken. This is not a JL, this is a Gladiator. Should have known that. This is also got their Ultimate Dana 60s under it. For you guys who want to build your Gladiators and put, you know, a big 40-inch trail grappler like this Jeep right here's got, you know, you can't do that on the factory Gladiator Dana 44 and expect it to hold up. Dana makes some of the best axles out there, and for somebody who wants to build their vehicle and they want to build it right, they have a really great bolt-in option for your Jeep. The beef that you need that doesn't necessarily get seen on your build as often, but boy, when you need it, they come in handy, because these 40-inch tires can do a lot of damage to your drivetrain if you actually do use your vehicle off-road like most of us do. And for those of you who don't, if you're going to be a poser, you might as well do it right. This is a pretty good spot to give you guys a little bit of a idea of how big this show is. Now, keep in mind, we're at the halfway point of this hall, and it goes all the way to there. The other half goes all the way to the front door. And if you thought that's big, there's a whole downstairs to this entire hall here called the South Lower Hall. And it's just the same size as this one. And that's just the South Hall. There's the Central Hall, there's the North Hall, there's out front, there's a whole nother hall up there where they have just like car care products, like taking, you know, cleaning your vehicles and stuff, which I know absolutely nothing about because I never washed my truck. But this show is absolutely huge. So we're here at the Rockslide Engineering booth, and I see another build that I recognize. This Gladiator right here is the Ironman JT, owned by none other than Taylor at Rebel Off-Road. And man, oh man, check it out. Of course, Taylor is no stranger to building some of the most badass Jeeps out there. He recently sold his Ironman JK, which was, for the most part, a goals build for a lot of guys who got into the Jeep market, who just wanted to build a Jeep JK. His was like the hallmark vehicle for its time. And Taylor really wanted to keep up with the times, and that meant trading in his JK for a brand new 2020 Gladiator, which is still called Iron Man, but man, this thing is just huge. He's got a set of 40-inch by 1550 wide, I mean stupid wide tires, by 20-inch trail grapplers on this Jeep with their Recon coilover conversion kit. Taylor's got a set of Dana 60 axles, I believe from Dynatrack. Yep, Dynatrack. That may be a bigger front axle than the 60, but maybe a 60 or an 80 in the back. Obviously King shocks. He's got a Rome Adventure tent up top. Those guys are making some really cool stuff for the overland market. I really like it. He's got KC lights here. This is their own Rebel off-road rack that they build for the Gladiator. Super nice. Odyssey Battery, Nemesis Industries fenders. I really like the Nemesis fenders. They're aluminum, they're flat, they have a really nice look to them, and they provide a ton of clearance. Taylor is running some TerraFlex suspension parts on this. I believe the front control arms are from TerraFlex. This is the long arm up front. I believe their Alpine IR system. But the booth that it's in is Rockslide Engineering. And of course, if you haven't heard of them, Rockslide Engineering, they're known for building some really, really nice step sliders that actuate when you open the door. So, Taylor, don't kill me. I'm gonna try to break into your Jeep right now and see if I can open it. It's locked. Failure. If they were here, I guess I found one of the drawbacks to being here at 9:30 at night is that everything's locked. You can't get into any of these vehicles and see what they got going on the inside. But I digress. These steps here that you see under this Jeep are used for rock crawling applications. I mean, you can actually beat the heck out of them off-road, and when you open the door, either the front or the back, on either side, there is a step that actuates down and lets you get in super easy. Especially nice when you have these big 40-inch tires under it. And when you close the door, they suck back up, and it's like they weren't even there. So if you're gonna buy rock sliders and you got a big tall Jeep, why not get a set of these Rockslide Engineering steps and make it a whole lot easier for you, your wife, your girlfriend, your kids, whoever wants to get in, even the dog, to get in and out of your Jeep because you put way too big of a tire on it. I don't blame you for that, by the way. Some Pelican cases in the back here. Nice Dometic fridge with a slider in it. You can't even open the tailgate on these things without it being unlocked. Crazy. That's a table. I didn't notice that before. That's pretty cool. I mean, anytime you go camping or off-roading, you want to bring one of these plastic tables with you, and they're always kind of a pain to store. So that's pretty neat that they give you a spot for it. Good job, Rebel Off-Road. That's pretty cool. Kind of an interesting setup here. Hellwig products, who make a lot of like towing or, you know, sway bars and things like that help your suspension on your vehicle tow better. They got their Gladiator set up on some vehicle stands just in the back here to show you their sway bar system out back here. And it's really interesting to start seeing a lot of towing products come out for a Jeep, but you know, the Gladiator has the best towing capacity in its class. So it increases the handling, the level load of carrying, you know, your vehicle's total GVWR by, you know, upgrading some of these components. So this Gladiator, again, running 40-inch tires. I don't know you want to tow a whole lot with these, but 40-inch tires with Icon suspension. Very nice stuff here. All right, so far I've only made it about halfway through this Upper South Hall. We've already seen so much stuff. I mean, it's overwhelming how much there is to see up here. And this is, again, not the only hall here. There's a ton of different halls at the show. We're gonna press on and see what else we can find and try to stay out of the cleaning crew's way so they don't get too pissed off and call security on my ass. Always super nice to see a old Wagoneer Cherokee Chief Grand Wagoneer, excuse me, with a really nice wooden canoe on top of it. And I feel like that's just what these things were built for. I actually had a 1979 Jeep Cherokee Chief a long time ago, which, funny enough, is what led to my nickname, Desert Chief. So, only you who are watching this now know that's where Desert Chief came from. Alright, I need to pause and do a little bit of a shout out here. In this Truck Hero booth, if you can hear me over this ridiculous music going on over here right now, there's no one around to listen to it. Behold, a rig of epic proportions. This is a Jeep FC crew cab. Now, if you guys don't know what FC is, it stands for forward control. It's four-wheel drive. Here, I can just show you the badge. It tells you everything you need to know. Forward control M66677, which is the military number for this vehicle. Four-wheel drive. This is an actual vehicle that Jeep built for the military, and obviously this one's not stock. It's been built, and it has been built by my friends at RSO Performance, Rock Solid Off-Road. Dude, you guys killed it. I mean, hats off to you guys, Mike, Tyler, Billy, James. Dude, I mean, unbelievable build. You guys really stepped it up on this one. Maybe this one's open because it's an old truck. Oh, it totally is. It smells like a new car in here, but this is like a 50, 60-year-old vehicle. Got some bar tack seats in here, a nice dashboard, classic, but you know, not too old looking. It's still modern. Wow. I love the tread up there, the tread design and the headliner. Grab handle up here so you can get up in this thing easy. Now, Billy, I know you did a bunch of body work on this thing. Awesome job, man. I mean, the fit finish is wonderful. It's got a super nice stake bed style bed on the back of it. All Rhino lined. The Rockland deck over here with an ARB fridge slide out. You can just push that button there, pull your fridge out, grab a snack. Rooftop tent, obviously in this day and age you gotta have one to be cool. So honestly, I bag on the overlanders a lot, but if there was any vehicle out there that I would want to take overlanding, like really bad, it is a Jeep FC. These things are iconic. Finding a four-door, like a crew cab FC, is unheard of. I mean, I've been inside of a single cab FC. Dude, look how much room there is in this thing. It's got like a Rockland safe under the seat over here, batteries, all the electronics. Dude, RSO, you guys freaking killed it on this build, man. I know you guys can't see it, it's kind of dark in here, but incredible work. Uh-oh. For any of you who've ever seen me at King of the Hammers, first of all, I'm sorry because I'm a total wreck that entire week. Second of all, I'm usually on a pit bike. And it's a funny notion to have this big 300-pound man riding a dirt bike that's made for a 10-year-old kid. But they're so convenient, they're so easy to ride, and they get me from, you know, point A to point B in Hammertown very quickly. I don't have to walk around all day. I've even ridden it up to Backdoor once or twice, but don't tell anybody I told you that. So let's check out what else they got here. We're walking down the end of the hall here. Very interesting vehicle, the Rockstar Mahindra. If you guys haven't seen this, it's like a Jeep, but it's not a Jeep. It's like a UTV. You can't drive it on the street, but it's like a green sticker only kind of a vehicle. Kind of looks like an old CJ. It's got a 4-cylinder diesel in it, I think. 2.5 liter Mahindra diesel. But they're brand new, don't get me wrong. This looks like a, you know, an old CJ, but it's a brand new vehicle. All right, I think it's about time that I give you guys my final thoughts on the South Upper Hall. after having snuck into this hall tonight at SEMA 2019. Try to find somewhere nice and comfortable to, oh, perfect, right here. Got couches, got water. Thanks, Lear. I've never owned one of your truck caps, but I will gladly sit on your couch. It was refreshing. Now that I found a nice comfortable spot to just kind of hang out and chill and kind of like download my thoughts on today, I'm gonna talk a little bit about some of my insights from the show, some of the initial feedback that I have from SEMA, being my third year here at the show. So I've been around SEMA for almost my entire life. My dad used to come to this show every year when I was a kid for his work, and he'd always bring home these cool pamphlets and booklets and some of the tchotchkes and stuff they would give out at these shows. He'd have bags like full for me and my brother so that we could just check out all the cool stuff he got at this trade show every year. And so that was my earliest kind of memory of SEMA. Back when I was a teenager in high school, SEMA was kind of quiet. There wasn't a whole lot going on at this show. It was cool, but it was still here. But it wasn't making as big of a splash as what I remember from when I was a kid. And then just recently, obviously, working at Driving Line, covering this show for the last 3 years, including 2019, has been cool. The first year I was like super stoked. I was ecstatic about coming to the show and seeing what there was, what to see, all that. I didn't realize how big it was. It's really like, it takes up 2 city blocks. It's a giant show here. So the SEMA show has always been one of those events around, this time of year where everybody from all across the automotive world comes together. I don't care if you own a body shop in New Jersey, or you are the owner of a corporation that works in 40 different countries and sells automotive products. Both of those types of people are at SEMA, which is really cool because it brings people from all walks of automotive life together, whether you're into off-road, whether you're into aftermarket parts, drift, OEM vehicles, accessories, anything that you can do to a car, you can find it here at this show. And that's what makes SEMA unique, is that everyone comes into town for 1 week to celebrate the automobile and everything that has to do with it, around it, on top of it, what you can bolt to it. There's so much here. It's almost overwhelming how much you can see throughout the week while you're here. And I say this every year, but even if you were to stay here all 4 days from Tuesday to Friday, I guarantee you wouldn't see everything. If you walked around and didn't talk to anybody, but you just popped some headphones in, walked around and looked at all the stuff you got here, you would not be able to see the whole show. It's just that big. So, of course, I'm kind of confining myself to the South Hall. The Upper South Hall, which is where I'm sitting right now, is where a majority of the off-road and truck aftermarket companies are at, where their booths are going to be at. And downstairs there's some more stuff, but it's more general, not so focused on off-road downstairs. Tomorrow I'm going to be cruising around down there, talking to some people, talking to some companies, and seeing if I can't make any new networking connections, stuff like that. And that's really what this show is about for a lot of people. It's just networking. There's a ton of people that come to this show who don't have a booth, who own a company. Maybe they own their own small business somewhere, and they want to start buying products from a corporation or from a distribution company, and they don't really have an in with them because they don't know anybody there, and it's kind of sometimes awkward to cold call and try to make that relationship happen. SEMA makes it easier because these companies throw parties, they throw cocktail parties, they throw events, they have luncheons, they have seminars, and they really kind of open themselves up to people meeting them and meeting those people and striking up conversation and seeing where they can go from there. And that's what makes SEMA unique, is that it puts that opportunity in front of people who otherwise wouldn't have an opportunity to do that. And that's why you get a lot of those kinds of people at the show. Tomorrow, you guys, I'm going to be walking around the show and showing you guys some of the other stuff that's going on here on Driving Line. So there's gonna have we're gonna have a couple of articles up on drivingline.com, please check out our website. We have a lot of really cool content in addition to the SEMA stuff that you're seeing. I know that your news feeds are probably inundated with SEMA content right now. So if you feel like you need a little bit of a break and you want to read something different and cool, hit up our website, drivingline.com. We have a ton of articles about anything you can think of, automotive related, off-road, on-road, whatever. We have a ton of stuff on there that's not related to SEMA that you can just kind of, you know, get a break from all this stuff. Take a break from the SEMA content, head over to Driving Line, check out an article or two, and see what else we got on there. But please, if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, because we have a lot of really cool content. I know I say that every week, but because I really mean it from the bottom of my heart, we have a lot of really cool content that we're doing for you guys, whether it's from Chasing Dust, my vlog here, or Cars and Kelly. Kelly's vlog is doing super well. She goes to all the supercar shows, the Cars and Coffee stuff. You know, she's very well versed in European exotics, and it's totally a world that I know nothing about, so it's really interesting for me to watch, because she just walks by a car and she knows like the name of it, and it's like literally a bunch of letters and numbers in a row that make no sense, and I would never know what it's called, but she knows exactly what it is and what kind of wheels it's got and what kind of motor it has and all the suspension, the modifications, whatever. She knows all that stuff. That's her wheelhouse. Super excited to see her episodes coming out. If you're looking for more of a refined YouTube experience, check out Inside Line with Ali Mansour. He is our senior off-road editor who's based on the East Coast, and he features some of the most amazing off-road vehicles you will ever see. I guarantee it. Go check out his vlog on Driving Line's channel. So really all you have to do is hit the subscribe button, and all of this stuff comes up in your feed. And make sure you hit that bell icon, because that will tell you every time one of us uploads a new video. I kind of do mine every other week. Kelly and Ollie kind of do theirs on a different schedule, but if you hit that bell icon, you will see every time they get a new episode up. So check it out, you guys. Security. Didn't say anything. Please follow us on Instagram, at Driving Line, and follow us on Facebook as well. We have a lot of really cool stuff that we put up on Facebook also. So just basically just whatever platforms you guys use, we're on it. So follow us on there. You'll see all the best automotive content on those platforms. All right, it is like 10 o'clock and I need to get back to the hotel room and get some shut-eye so that I can come back and do all this over again tomorrow. So I'm gonna try to sneak out of here without getting caught. I appreciate you guys following along with me on my little adventure of sneaking into the Upper South Hall long after the doors have shut here at SEMA Show 2019. I'm your pal Desert Chief, truck editor at Driving Line. Hope you guys have a nice week. I'll see you on the next one. Adios.